Now let's go to Lee Marshall and Mike Tenay with a call of our double main event. Guys?
Well, Tony and Larry, we thank you very much. And fans, we want to welcome you to a most interesting singles matchup today on WCW Worldwide. Mike, this is really a confrontation between the wily veteran, Chris Adams, and the newcomer, Terrence Black.
Really is a contrast when you look at the in-ring experience that both of these competitors bring into this match. We're talking about the gentleman, Chris Adams, near 2 decades now in the ring as an active competitor. Started off at a very young age over in England. Renowned internationally as one of the top stars in our sport against, well, a young man that's trying to make a name for himself in Terrence Black. And what a feather in the cap it would be of Terrence Black if he were able to knock off Chris Adams.
This is really quite an opportunity that Terrence Black has as the result of the WCW Executive Committee saying, all right, young man, you want to move up the ladder? And it is a very tall ladder indeed. Then let's put one of the great veterans in your path in Chris Adams. And what this man, Terrence Black, has to really be thinking about right now is that super kick, because, I mean, the men that have gone down to that kick fill the Long Island phone book, it seems.
Isn't it amazing that so many of the proponents of the martial arts have gained such success as of late right here in World Championship Wrestling? I think of the Cat, the 3-time World Karate Champion. I think of course, the returning Glacier, just back in action within the past month or so after being sidelined for several months. And you have to factor in someone like the gentleman, Chris Adams, who has an extensive judo background in addition to his pro wrestling.
Well, let's also talk about the background of one Mr. Terrence Black, as you can see by his tights, emblazoned proudly with the insignia of the United States Navy SEALs, and they have certainly received a lot of publicity of late. Their most famous SEAL ascending to the State House in Minnesota.
Of course, you're talking about the election of Jesse Ventura as the governor of the state of Minnesota. He probably the most famous, I guess, of all the Navy SEALs. Terrence Black wearing the colors of the Navy SEALs, and if it comes to discipline, and we know how important that is to professional wrestling and gaining long-term success, then Terrence Black would seem to have a step up on the competition.
Well, the thing about guys that are Navy SEALs and Army Rangers and Green Berets, you know, they're the first guys in and the last guys out when it comes to combat. They are fearless, they are loyal, they are dedicated, they are tenacious. They have all the qualities I would think one would look for not only in a wrestler, but the governor of a state, perhaps.
And, of course, don't forget our own Perry Saturn when you're talking about the Navy SEALs and the Army Rangers. Perry Saturn was an Army Ranger. Over 100 jumps. And, of course, he talks so much about his background and his experience level, what that discipline means to him now, to the success that he has had in professional wrestling.
All Perry Saturn jumps, by the way, I'm not convinced all of them were with a parachute. I think he just jumped. Watch this, says Terrence Black. All right, we're watching. Show us what you got, young man.
Chance to prove that he is a cut above the rest. Up on the top, wasting an awful lot of precious time perched up on that top rope.
Oh. Well, we watched. He invited wrestling fans all over the world to watch, and we saw one miscalculated move. You cannot do that with a veteran like Chris Adams. He'll make you pay.
Well, the voice of experience in Chris Adams coming to the forefront here, knows exactly where he wants his opponent. The back body drop. Now the reverse mount and raining down serious forearms to the back of the head of Terrence Black.
Well, it was the voice of Chris Adams. Now he's about ready to meet the
there it is
of Chris Adams, the super kick. That's all.
Very nicely done. Chris Adams able to turn the tide after that mistake off the top rope by Terrence Black, able to take advantage and capitalize.
That's how you do real, original.
Well, the gentleman Chris Adams, Mike, with words, I guess, of warning to both men with extremely good super kicks or cryonic kicks. We're going to have another look at it. Just a replay right here, Mike.
Perfectly executed. Textbook standing side kick to super kick, as Chris Adams calls it, and that leads to an easy cover and a 3 count.
As we have got more tremendous wrestling for you as Worldwide rolls on. Put that clicker down.